Welcome to Loving is Living. I am Priscilla Ashonibare. Today we are going to be starting our discussion on communication in marriage. What is communication? Communication is a process by which one person passes information to the other. It can be through symbols, through words, or actions. Communication is the currency of intimate relationships. Before any relationship can start, communication is involved. And unfortunately, many problems in marriages start with communication. It so happens that when there are problems in the marriage, the communication between the spouses will be affected. And when communication between spouses are less or there are more of negative communication, it will also cause problems in their relationships. So, this is like a circle. Communication, less communication, and negative communication in a marriage would result into problems. And problems will make the communication in the marriage to become less or to become negative. Communication is how couples connect. It is how they are able to resolve conflicts. And this same communication that would have been a tool to resolving their problem is now the problem. So how can we solve the problem? How do people communicate? People communicate due to some things that they have gone through, meaning their past experiences. It can be because of the gender, it can be due to the culture, it can be due to even the family background. So you could see there are so many things that come together to affect the way a person communicates. Now imagine when two people who are of different genders, different nationalities, different cultures, different tribes, and different families, of course, when they come together in a relationship, definitely they will have to learn how to communicate with each other. Now, in most times, the reason communication, becomes something that is problematic is because of mind reading. A spouse, or let me say a husband, might say something, and the wife might come to the conclusion that the husband is trying to imply something else, and this might bring tension in the relationship. So, how can we avoid mind reading in our communication or when we communicate? You should ask for clarification. When you are making a call on the phone and the network is bad, sometimes you will ask the person on the other side, can you please repeat yourself? The signal is not clear. I can't hear you well. In the same way, instead of jumping to conclusion without proofs of what you think your spouse is saying, it will be better for you to just ask for clarification. Do I hear you say this? Is this what you mean? Instead of, oh, I think you are against me, you don't love me, I can't hear you talking about you caring for me in your statement. Another thing that we need to do in order for us to have effective communication is when you think you are hungry, you are angry, or you are tired, and there's something important you want to discuss with your spouse, just wait for a minute. Get something to eat, go and cool off, become calm. And even if you're tired, take some time to rest before you start communicating. Because if you try to communicate and express your feelings to your spouse when you are hungry, angry, or tired, it might influence how the words will come out from your mouth. And that might cause tension in the relationship. Now, that brings me to how do we express ourselves through communication? Today, we'll just talk about expressing feelings versus venting feelings, because that is one of the ways through which communication ends up in problems in relationships. When instead of you to express your feelings, you vent it out. Now, to express your feelings, all you need to do is to be straightforward, to ask yourself, is it clear enough? What I'm trying to say, is it comprehensible? Or is it going to be something that might give my spouse a different interpretation? And you look at the perspective of your spouse before saying it. You say it from the fact that I want my spouse to understand me. Whereas on the other hand, venting your feelings is when you what you're saying is you're not calm saying it. It's not comprehensible because you're putting in so many things, and you are bringing past experiences, past mistakes, past faults and things like that into the current situation. It is when your set statements include things like always or never. For example, maybe something and you'd say, you never think about me. Oh, you are always doing that to make me feel bad. Is it true? That may not be the truth. But because you're trying to vent the feelings that you have. And sometimes when spouses vent their feelings, it can mean that they're just crying for help. So what should the other spouse do when a spouse is venting his or her feeling? Calm the storm. How can you calm the storm? Just keep quiet. The venting will wear out. Then after the venting has worn out, then you can come, and ask for clarification from your spouse, talk from a point of view of being concerned about what they are feeling, what they are going through. It can even be you having a planned discussion. Planned discussion. We're going to be talking about having a planned discussion next time to be able to help our communication in our marriages. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. See you next time.